तो देखते हैं कि टाइप कन्वर्जन क्या रहता है इसी लैंग्वेज में। टाइप कन्वर्जन दो टाइप का रहता है, इम्प्लिसिट और एक्सप्लिसिट कन्वर्जन। इम्प्लिसिट कन्वर्जन मतलब डेटा टाइप चेंज करने का जो ऑटोमेटिकली हो जाता है, कंपाइलर ऑटोमेटिकली डेटा टाइप चेंज करता है, उसको बोलते हैं इम्प्लिसिट कन्वर्जन। एक्सप्लिसिट मतलब प्रोग्रामर है वो एक्सप्लिसिटली बताता है कि मुझे ये जो वेरिएबल है उसका डेटा टाइप चेंज करना है। इसको एक एग्जांपल के जरिए समझने की कोशिश कर दें। जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल लेट अस से इंट वेरिएबल है, इंट आई इज 3, दूसरा एक वेरिएबल है इंट जे इज इक्वल टू 4, और फ्लोट आर एक वेरिएबल है, उसको हमने क्या किया है, आई डिवाइडेड बाय जे किया है। तो अभी यहाँ पे देखिए जो भी डिवीजन हो रहा है यहाँ पे 3 डिवाइडेड बाय 4, उसका रिजल्ट आने वाला है 0.75। लेकिन ये वेरिएबल जो है इंट आई और इंट जे इंटीजर टाइप के वेरिएबल है, इसलिए उसका जो रिजल्ट आएगा 0.75, इट विल इग्नोर द डेसिमल पार्ट बिकॉज integers can only store the main component, that is 0. So instead of storing 0.75, this result will be 0, and that will be converted into float automatically. So actually value that will be stored in the R is 0.000, something like that. So here type conversion has happened automatically from integer to float. Even though the result is 0, the actual result should be 0.75, but still the result is 0.000 because after division the result is 0 and then that is converted into float. That's why this result is being displayed 0.000. Now you can see the implicit conversion is happening here, but now let us see why we need the explicit conversion. So with explicit conversion what happens is, if we do R is equal to float I divided by Z, and then now R will contain 0.75, which is expected. So here we have specified, okay, convert this variable I into float first, and then once the variable I is in float, this J will be automatically converted into float as well. So implicit and explicit type of conversion is happening here in this example. And then since the result is, since we have casted it to float automatically, then the result is going to be 0.75, and that is what we are going to store in the R. So that is how implicit and explicit conversion happens. Now it is very risky, implicit conversion, as we see here. It is losing data, like data loss can happen, especially when we are converting from a large data type to smaller data type. For example, int is a large data type, it can have like 4 bytes, but char is, let us say, 1 byte, it can have just size of 1 byte. So if you have one variable, say int a is equal to 12, or say 65,000, and if you say char x is equal to a, still we will have something in the x, but definitely not the value of 65,000 because x is gonna just store 1 byte, but to store the 65,000 it needs maybe 2 bytes, 3 bytes, like that. And that's why when implicit conversion is happening, it will just store the part of that integer. So x will have just different value. We can't say right now. I will show it in the program, but definitely it will not have that 65,000 value, and that's when the data loss happens. And you have to be very careful, especially when we are storing value from bigger data type to the lower data type.
यहाँ पे एक एग्जांपल है, इस एग्जांपल से हम लोग टाइप कास्टिंग समझने की कोशिश करते हैं। यहाँ पे आप देख सकते हैं एक वेरिएबल लिया है मैंने इंटीजर का, और उसमें 1.3 और 2 इसका एडिशन मैं स्टोर करने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ, और यहाँ पे आप देख सकते हैं मैं प्रिंट कर रहा हूँ उसका एडिशन का रिजल्ट। और दूसरा एक वेरिएबल लिया है, फ्लोट टाइप का वेरिएबल है वो, उसका नाम रिजल्ट है, और उसमें हम लोग 3 डिवाइडेड बाय 4 इसका जो भी रिजल्ट आएगा डिवीजन का वो स्टोर कर रहे हैं। तो आप सोच के बताइए कि इसका रिजल्ट क्या आना चाहिए। इंटीजर ए जो है इसका क्या आउटपुट और क्या आउटपुट प्रिंट करना चाहिए और रिजल्ट जो है वो क्या प्रिंट करने वाला है, क्या सोच के बता सकते हैं क्या मुझे? तो 1.3 + 2 इज़ 2.3, सॉरी 3.3, which is obvious, that is what we are expecting, 3.3. और जो फ्लोट का जो है 3 divided by 4 is like 0.75, isn't it? So let us see what it is printing. And you can see the value of A that it has printed is 3 instead of 3.3, and value of the result is 0.00000 instead of 0.75. Now what's happening here? We are losing our data. It is not giving the correct output. So the problem here is that implicit type conversion is happening. Okay, in both the cases implicit type conversion is happening. Implicit means compiler is automatically converting the data types. Now here in this example what's happening is this 1.3 is a float data type. Okay, that's fine. Now 2 is integer, and here 1.3 is actually, you can see it is double. It is taking it as a double. So double plus integer, that there are two different data types which we are trying to add, which is not possible. Both the data types has to be of the same type. So compiler, what it will do is, okay, data type as a different, what it will do is it will convert integer data type to double. So 2 will become 2.00, something like that, and then result will be 3.3. But once the result becomes 3, at the time of assignment it checks the data type of this A. The data type of A is integer, and what we are trying to store here is 3.3, which is not possible. So what compiler will do is it will do another type conversion. It will convert this 3.3 from double to int. So all this process of type conversion is happening automatically, and that's why it is called as implicit conversion. In the second case also the same thing is happening. So what is happening here is, you can see 3 is of type integer, 4 is of type integer. So if you divide 3 by 4, the result will be 0.75, but since it is integer, it is gonna store just 0. Okay, so the result will be into 0, but at the time of assignment what's happening is you want to store that 0 into the variable of type float. So compiler will convert this 0, which is in integer format, to double format or float format, like that. So and that's the reason we are seeing that output 0.00000, like that. Now how to fix that? So to fix this second problem, what we can do is we can convert this into float. One of the variable, if you convert into float, another will be automatically converted into float, and then the result that we are expecting 0.75 will be stored in this float. So this is called as explicit typecasting, because we are specifying, okay, here is integer, I want to convert the integer to float, and this is the way to do that. In the parenthesis you have to give the data type to which you want to change it, and then result should be 0.75. Now to fix this problem here, what we are going to do is we are going to change this to float, and this should fix our problem. Let us see now what's the result. So there is one warning message here. Instead of since we have changed the data type of A to float, here it should be float as well. So let us run it again, and you can see now the result is expected, that is 3.3, and for the second assignment or the second variable the value is 0.75, which is expected. So that is how you have to deal with the different data types. You have to be very careful, because as you see here, if you use incorrect data types or if you do not typecast properly, we are losing data, and the result that are coming are completely weird. Like we are not expecting the results, like the wrong results it is printing. So you have to be very careful what data type you are using, and accordingly you have to use the typecasting, implicit, explicit typecasting has to be used. Thanks for watching this video.